This is the Anapro head strap. I've been using it for a while now, and in this video, I'm going to give you my honest review. In case this is your first time here, I'm Fred Trevino, and I've been using my Vision Pro every single day for the past 6 months. So you'll never find those in-depth reviews on my channel after having only used something for 24 hours. Everything I use extensively, and I use in a real world environment. I'll be breaking this review down by pros, cons, price, who is it for, and my final thoughts. So let's jump right in.
This intro intentionally left blank.
Okay, so very quickly before we jump in, I just want to let you know my background with the Vision Pro and how I've used it. So the head strap that I've been using is the dual band. I actually used the solo loop first and I absolutely did not like it. But after switching to the dual band, it's been great. I've actually had no comfort issues. So when Anapro sent me this head strap, I was curious to see how it would compare to the dual band. Okay, so let's jump in first with the pros. So pro number one is the presentation. So right off the bat, I actually like the packaging that Anapro has for this head strap. I think they had really good, clear instructions, and it was just presented in the box in a very nice way. I know this isn't the most important thing about a product, but it always helps when you get it and you see that they've put thought and time into the instructions so you can get set up and going very quickly, and I think Anapro definitely did that. Okay, so pro number two, I would actually say is the design. Kind of like I've shown you before, here it is, very simple, and it's just this top bar there. You can see that it actually attaches very cleanly and easily to the Vision Pro. It doesn't really affect the look. It doesn't really like dominate the look of the Vision Pro. It isn't big, it isn't clunky, and it's literally just this one simple bar here. That's all it is. And you can see here that it's just a soft cushion material here. So, I mean, with that being said, there's something nice about the minimalism, the simplicity of it. I know I've worked with other head straps where they were just like too big, too complicated, too many parts that you had to adjust. And this was as easy as just attaching this one simple bar, putting it on, tightening it, and then you were ready to go. Okay, and so pro number three is that it's honestly very comfortable. I really didn't know what to expect after they sent it to me. And like I said, I've had no issues with the dual band, but after the second or third day, I started realizing that this actually was more comfortable than the dual band. I was actually enjoying it more, and I found myself, kind of just forgetting about it completely and completely forgetting about the Vision Pro and just being immersed in it. And the comfort, the adjustment, the tweaking that, anyone who owns a Vision Pro knows that you, every now and then you stop and you tweak and you do things like that. Well, with this head strap, I just found that I was comfortable. And I'd say this, since I've been using it more than ever, I've run into batteries hitting 10%, batteries hitting 4% before I actually took it off. So I would say in comparison to the dual band for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say the dual band was probably about a 7 or 7.5. I would put the Anapro at about an 8 or 8.5 in terms of comfort. Just because you put it on, it distributes the weight across the top of your head. And then another thing that I love about it is that I can now use the solo loop, which anyone who has it knows this definitely looks much better, much cooler than having the dual band, and just the comfort of this part here, which is kind of spongy and soft, and then the weight being distributed across your head here, and then the rest of the weight being distributed across the light seal. I mean, it just makes for a very, I would describe it as a very cozy, comfortable fit for my head at least. So huge pro there in terms of comfort. And for once, of all the head straps that I've tried, for once there's a head strap that actually is more comfortable than what came with the Vision Pro. Whereas most of them, I wouldn't say they are more comfortable. They just kind of distribute the weight to a different part of your head, but they're equally as comfortable. So that leads me to the last pro number four, and that is the price. So right now on Amazon, it's $40, and on Anapro's website, it is $36. However, I'm sure you have to pay shipping, and that kind of makes up the difference. But no matter where you buy it, I think for that price range, 35 to 40 bucks, it's a great deal for the comfort, because there's definitely other head straps out there that are more money, that are less comfortable, a lot less comfortable. So I actually say that for the price, it's actually a very good deal. Okay, so now on to the cons. This is going to be a pretty short video because honestly, I could not find that many cons. The only con that I would say I would point out about this, again, here it is here. The only con I would say is the design. Even though it looks good and I think it, it is a good looking head strap, I would say this bar here and the overall design that it has, it's just, to me, it looked a little bit too much like a third-party product attached to the Vision Pro, and it didn't integrate into the design of the Vision Pro as much as I think it could have or I would have liked. Everyone knows Apple is known for their awesome industrial design, and even though this does look great, and I will say this is a very nitpicky con, but I think if this head strap here integrated into the design a little bit better, and it didn't just look like a white piece of plastic attached to the Vision Pro, I think honestly they would probably sell a lot more, and it would just look a lot better, and it would be a much better product. And I even think that people would be willing to pay a little bit more for something that just seamlessly fits into the design of the Vision Pro. So as funny as it sounds, the only con I have for this is the design, but again, that's just a very nitpicky con. Okay, and so now who is this for? I would honestly say that this is for anyone who owns a Vision Pro, mainly because of the price, because I would say for 35 to 40 bucks, even if you think the Vision Pro is comfortable, I would definitely try it out, because like I said, with the dual band, I was comfortable with it, but now that I have it, I actually am very sure I'm just going to leave it on there, and that's going to be what I use to compare other head straps to from here on out. And honestly, it's probably something that I personally never would have bought, but I'm so glad they sent it to me, and I'm so glad I tried it, because now I'd say it definitely makes my experience of using the Vision Pro a lot better. If it was more expensive, I would say maybe it's more so for those having issues with comfort, but at just 35 to 40 bucks, I would say, try it. I'd be surprised if you didn't find it made it at least a little bit more comfortable. Okay, and now for my final thoughts. Obviously, you've guessed by now that I really loved this head strap, and after wearing it for a while, I kind of wonder how Apple never figured out to simply put a bar across the top of the head. I know other head straps have done this, but some have done it in a much more complicated, clunky way, and this very simple adjustment, made a huge difference. Again, everyone's head is different, so you might buy this and hate it, but it is something that I think is a very simple solution. And so as far as my final thoughts, I'd say it's great. I highly recommend it. And I do hope that Apple at some point figures out a very simple solution for future releases of the Vision Pro. Okay, so that's it. Hope you got something out of this. This is a new channel. Like, subscribe. I do have an affiliate link below. So if you're thinking about buying it, do click on the link below, and that'll help out this channel. And I'll see y'all later.